Codeberry's here today, so hope you're all doing well. So last time we talked about the last spike down, or the first dump. And so between last time we spoke, or if you watched the last video, there was a new low. So the last time the low was 53,221, I think that says. And yesterday we actually had another low. It was 52,933. There was a Fed meeting today, and there was some comments yesterday, or even another Fed meeting. Jay Powell said that he thought that Bitcoin was like unstable or something. There was some more selling. So we had a lower low, as you can see. So we're on the 4-hour chart right now. So I'll just zoom back out. So there is a little bit of room to break to the downside if we want to continue back down. There's some bearish momentum starting here. It was just a new day open about 13 minutes ago. We have some bearish momentum. We don't know how long that's going to last, but it is a red day from the day frame. So there is one thing I want to mention on the faster MACD, which is actually pretty crazy, because this was up here on Sunday, and like now it's actually crossed over. So have a look, it's crossed over. This is a faster MACD, so it crossed over. We haven't had a cross since October. So about October 5th, October 12th. So October 12th we had a cross up. So October, November, December, January, February, March. That was 6 months ago. Look how extended that cross is, right? Look how extended that is. Here's the last run. It crosses up, it crosses down, it crosses up over that center line, it crosses down, it crosses up, and then it crosses down, right? There's that big spike. There's a big spike. And have a look. What is this? That's a big spike. That's a long run. No, it's not something to go off for sure, but it is an indicator, right? That things could be changing here. So the last time it had October 17. It went only till December 17, because obviously here there was some more crossing down momentum, right? It wasn't just one huge up and a down, kind of what we're having now. There was up, down, it was being traded, right? It wasn't just going up. So in this run is almost more than 2017. It's almost a stronger run in a way, because there's so many weeks we had just up, so many months we had just up, right? No down, no crossing back down. So this is starting to cross back down. We talked about the divergence, the strong weekly divergence, and we talked about the monthly divergence. If you want to know about those, have a look at my older videos on Bitcoin, like the last few recent ones. So discuss that. Oh, so we're starting to dump here on the 5. So there is support all a little bit down there. So we're talking about the support that the latest low from that spike. So we said whatever it was on the 4-hour. So look for a break beneath that for continued bearish momentum. Right now, as I said, just from support and resistance. So we broke that 57 level right there, right? We broke that 57 level about there on the dot. Now we're running down, right? We're running down, down, down. Where's the next support? It's down here, right? Because support usually runs through the greens. It doesn't really catch any support there. There might be something around 42, maybe bottom of that red candle on the lower time frames. But there is something right here, right in the 40 range to 38. That's where the next major support is, and that's where that center line is. So there is some room to fall. I apologize because I ran out of indicators. I'm gonna try to fix that. Maybe I'll just try to code it in manually. I'm just learning PineScript now, but I know some other coding languages, so it's not too difficult to play around with. More trial and error, but I'll try to get another EMA, because right now I've changed that EMA I've actually changed it to an exponential moving average, so it's less than 9 now. So I forgot exactly what I changed it to, but I know it's less than 9. So I think it might be a 2. Yeah, it might be an EMA 2 or an EMA 3, 4 or something like that. So I would prefer to have a 9 as well, and then 2 WMAs the same as those. I don't really use just the simple moving average or MA. In the other video I just said moving average, but I meant SMA, MA, same thing. But yeah, I prefer to have at least a few more on here, because right now I've ran out of indicators. I don't have premium, and even so I think I'm already at the max. I used to have premium, but not anymore. But anyways, I see the support coming, I see the price coming down to support. It's highly probable, right? It's not for sure, but it's highly probable. That's where that center line is. There is room for that to come back down, at least, around there, 45, 44, right? And if it's starting to change the trend, then we definitely could see a cross of that center line back down. That's what we were talking about on the monthly candles. So right now, that EMA, it's at 49. It's actually been going down every day I look at it. It was at 51, then it's been going down every day, so that's not a good sign either. But I'm kind of thinking of that EMA as like an average price from the monthly. So I believe, we could get down here, 36. We'll probably get a break down here. If it's really starting to sell off, we could definitely see that. As we said, right? We said that this has not crossed down in a year. Can you imagine having a run for a year? What do you think's gonna happen eventually, right? Like, come on, what's gonna happen after the run, right? So how long did this cross? This went up for 2015. This went up for, so what exact date did that cross? August 15. So this one was about a year and a half. Or yeah, so like 2 years and a half even. But it's not for sure that that's gonna happen, right? As we said on the weekly, it crossed down on the weekly, but it has to at least come back down closer to that center line. It can't run forever, you know what I mean? Eventually it's gonna cross back down. That's the point. That's the take home. Like that's the take home, right? Eventually it has to cross back down. And that's something that it took me a long time to understand that. Like it can't like let's say you shoot a gun into the air, or you throw a ball into the air, right? What's going to happen? It's going to go up, it's going to go up, it's going to keep going up till it can't go up anymore. That's going to inflect from positive infinity. It's going to go to just flat zero slope. Then it's going to go to negative infinity, right? That's what's going to happen here eventually. And as we can see on the monthly, that it didn't cross for a long time. This was the longest for the monthly, which is interesting that it hasn't crossed. Like here, it crossed up, it crossed down. Even at those months that we just saw in the months, even as the months were going up, at least it came down and crossed down, right? This one we haven't had any crossing down till now. So we could see this come back down, right? That's kind of the take home. And here's the default MACD. Inflecting. There's an inflection point. That's what I was talking about a few weeks ago, that eventually we're going to get an inflection to negative infinity and things could start to look ugly. So that's what I was saying. So I believe there is a lot of room to the downside, right? Like it's not going to run forever. That's the whole point. So let's just have a look at the default. So the default crossing happened around December 2015. So where did it inflect? March 2018, right? So about, where do we say, December 15, January 2016 it crossed over. So 1 year, 2016, then around 2017. So about a year, maybe a year and a month. And here's where the cross was. On the default. So we crossed up June 20, May, June, right? How long has it been? What year are we in now? So 2021, March. So it crossed May, June. So it's coming up on a year. And last time the run was a little bit longer, but we did see it. As we said, we did see it come back down and crossed, at least come back down and crossed, like at least touch the line and bounce off. Look, have a look at, oh sorry, wrong one. Have a look at this one. Have a look. This is crossing down already. Look. Once it crosses down, there's usually some momentum to the downside, at least for a few weeks. And this is a huge cross up. This isn't like a little cross up. This is a huge cross up. So there's a lot of momentum here. So that's just one example. I don't just go off MACDs, right? But this is, as we talked about, this was the most diverging. This is the strongest divergence that this chart has ever seen, as I described in the last video. That you can see how strong negative slope that divergence is and how powerful that rise is. There's nothing even there. Nothing like that. Now, this chart hasn't even seen divergence like that before. So I think this could definitely have a way to fall. The monthly chart is also diverging. We talked about that before. And we've never seen this much volatility before. Look, have a look. Look how much higher that peak is than that peak, right? Look how much higher that peak is than that peak is, and look how these are diverging. It's coming down while the price is going up. So there's a lot of room to the downside here. Can it run a little bit higher? Yeah, it can. But will it for sure come down eventually? Of course it will. Eventually there's going to be a sell-off, right? Profit taking is going to happen. People are going to use what they made, right? They're going to, these are different times now. So I hope that helps. And we'll just go to the daily for a sec. So there was some momentum to the downside after that high, and then we talked about the divergence, and we talked about in the last few videos how this has not had any divergence in like a long time. So just keep your eye out and keep your eye on that 38,000 level, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.